Senator, as you know, there are those who look at you bringing on Carly Fiorina as your running mate and say that this is a desperation move.
Well, look, that was certainly the attack of Donald Trump, and nobody was surprised to see Donald attacking. You know, he really has four responses to any outside stimulus. He either yells, screams, curses, or insults. And so it's no surprise that he went with insult there. The reality is simple. This is an unusual election, but I think it's important to give the voters a clear contrast, a clear choice. And I think you could not have a clearer choice between Carly and me on the one hand and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton on the other. And Hillary and Donald, they're flip sides of the same coin. They agree with each other on issue after issue after issue. They're both big government, New York liberals. They're both Washington insiders. Hillary has made millions selling power and influence in Washington, and Trump has made billions buying politicians like Hillary Clinton. I think people are fed up with the bipartisan corruption of Washington that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton embody, and they want instead a positive, forward-looking, optimistic campaign based on real solutions to the problems people are facing.
Senator, when Carly Fiorina was on this very program back in January, she cast you in that same world. Take a listen.
Cruz is just like any other politician. He says one thing in Manhattan, he says another thing in Iowa, he says whatever he needs to say to get elected, and then he's going to do as he pleases.
I mean, Carly Fiorina just a few weeks ago was saying that you were part of this cartel that you attack.
Well, that was more than a few weeks ago, but sure, look, she was a competitor in this primary. She was a fierce competitor. In a primary, people take shots at each other. That's part of the process. You know, we all remember when Ronald Reagan picked George Herbert Walker Bush as his vice president, and they had to explain why Bush had called Reaganomics voodoo economics. Listen, that happens when you come through a primary and you unite. I can tell you, Carly and I have spent weeks and weeks and weeks together on the road, barnstorming the state of Indiana, barnstorming the country. And I have gotten to know and respect Carly. She's an extraordinary leader. You know, she rose from being a secretary all the way to being CEO of the largest technology company in the world, the first female CEO of a Fortune 20 company in history. And I think the contrast, look, in choosing a vice presidential nominee, that may be the most serious and solemn decision any presidential candidate makes. I was looking for someone with knowledge, with judgment, and with the character to step in and be president. And I think the contrast could not be clearer between Carly and me on the one hand and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton on the other.